Hello everyone. I, Ms. Bhavna Danesh Munod, welcome you all in Agricultural Development Trust, Shardabai Pawar, Mahila Arts, Commerce and Science College, Sharda Nagar, Baramati. Good day, dear students. Last period we studied about features of services, and in that we studied fifth point, that is non-transferability. Non-transferability, simple example, it has been given in your textbook, children. I am repeating again regarding when you book a hotel room. That means you are going to stay in that hotel for 1 or 2 days. It is not that the hotel is transferred in your name, or you do not become an owner of that particular hotel. So non-transferability means anything cannot be transferred in your name during services, giving services, children. Then the sixth feature of services, children, in your book is consumer participation. Now consumer participation is very important factor, children. See the sixth point, what it is? Consumer participation. Now it is very important. Why important, children? Because when you want to do sale of goods, say for example, I am having a shop, children, any shop, groceries shop. So who am I? A shopkeeper. I am selling goods and services. To whom I am selling, children? To the customer. So customer satisfaction will be more important for me to get profit. So what is there? For services, they have told that participation of a consumer is equally important. And without that participation of consumer, services cannot be offered. Say the seller cannot offer service without the presence of customer. Like as I told you, if I am a shopkeeper, I will give services to the customers when they come to my shop, and vice versa means exactly opposite of that. If my shop is closed, children, if I stop giving services, the customer will not come to my shop. So the seller is also equally important, as well as the buyer is also important. Customer means who? Buyer. So buyers and sellers are both important in services. The seller is required for what? To provide goods and services to the people. And the buyer is required to take goods and services so that the seller will also earn money and the customer, that is the buyer, will get satisfied. So consumers participation over here, they have told it is equally important, children. So they have told that participation of consumer is equally important. The seller cannot offer service without the presence of the customer, and vice versa. Customer cannot accept service unless the seller is present to offer a service. So features of business services we have studied, children, that I will repeat again. The first feature was intangibility, means it cannot be touched, seen. Then the second feature was inseparability, children. Inseparability means we cannot separate services. Then inconsistency means what? From time to time delivery will be there of services. There will not be change. Or sometimes when we go to a same company, the services may appear different. They will not be same. The services can be heterogeneous, children. Quality will be maintained by giving time to time delivery, but the services will be different. For example, now for inconsistency, what example they have given? That you go to same hotel, you will have different services experience for 2 different days. Then the perishable means goods cannot be stored. Non-transferability, as now only we have seen, children, that it cannot be transferred. And consumers participation means both buyers and sellers are important, children, to give or to provide services. Now the next point in this chapter we will study, children, that is business services. Now what is business service? So they have told that business cannot be operated in an isolated manner. We require some activities which facilitates business to grow rapidly. So business services are those services which helps the business to grow and to help business to function seamlessly, means what, children? Smoothly. The meaning of seamlessly is what? Smoothly. So the thing is what they have told, that business services are required. Why they have required? For expansion and growth of business. It is clearly told, for expansion and growth of business, children, we require business services. Now we will see in this chapter one by one what are the various types of business services, children. See, the next point is types of business. C. and each topic, each point will have to tell something. Each service will tell lot of things that they provides to business. So what are the important services according to this diagram? You can see the diagram, children, over here. So according to this diagram, children, the services provided by business, the first one is banking, insurance, warehousing means storage, transportation and communication. See, various types of business services are there. One by one we are going to see each and every business services. But what are the types? So the types are, children, banking, warehousing, insurance, transport and communication. So we will see the first service, that is bank. See, clearly now what is banking, children, and very important. We all know banking is important, children, also in further education, that is for degree also. Banking is a special subject, children, banking. And we require knowledge of bank. So we'll see what is over here, banking, the introduction of banking, children. Now what they have told, that the term bank comes from the French word banco. See, the term bank comes from the French word banco. What it means? A bench. See, a bench. So in earlier days, money lenders used to display coins of different currencies in big heaps or benches or tables for the purpose of lending or exchanging. Now they have told introduction how this bank word came. Now they have told this term bank, whatever word is there, it came from French word banco, and the meaning B-A-N-C-O, banco, is from the bench. Means during olden days, people used to sell, say display. They had a display, show of coins, currencies on a bench or table. That is for lending and borrowing. People used to display coins, currencies of various types of countries were there. Different types, not only of, say, India, we are staying in India. They had India, foreign, Dubai, whatever foreign currencies were there, all were displayed on a bench. And then after that, buying and lending of that currencies was there, children, or exchanging of money. So that is called as banking. Now we'll see the next point, meaning. Now what is a bank? So a bank is a financial institution, children, which deals with deposits and advances and other related services. So bank provides various services, say, related to money or financial requirements of consumers. So according to the Indian Banking Regulation Act 1949, banking company means any company which transacts the business of banking in India. And the word banking has been defined as accepting for the purpose of lending or investment of deposits of money from public, repayable on demand or otherwise, and withdrawal by check, draft and order or otherwise. So what is a bank? It is a financial institution. So what it does? It deposits. We all know why we go to bank: for lending and borrowing the money, or say for deposit or withdrawal of money. So bank provides these services of deposit and advancing the loans. So various services are provided to the bank related to money or financial requirements of consumers. So according to Indian Banking Regulation Act 1949, banking company means, children, any company which transacts the business of banking in India. So this definition is according to Indian Bank Regulation Act 1949, which told that banking company means any business or any company which transacts the business of banking in India. And the word banking has been defined as accepting. See, what the word banking has been defined as, children? Accepting for the purpose of lending or investment of deposits of money, say from public, repayable on demand or otherwise, and withdrawable by check, draft and order or otherwise. So various types of banking services are provided, children. Withdrawal of money is there, depositing of money is there, FDs are there. Then the thing is, it can be check, cash, credit. according to the term what bank is using. So these types of services, children, are provided by bank. So this word has been come from French. Banco means benches. Now we'll see the main important, children, what are the types of banks. See, types of banks. Now keep in mind, children, two types of banks are there. Central bank is there and commercial bank is there. Now central bank, we have only one in our country, India. It is called as Reserve Bank of India, children, RBI. So RBI is a central bank, children. And this central bank is the apex financial institution in banking industry in our country. So every country has their own central bank. In India, we have RBI, that is Reserve Bank of India. Each and every country will have their one central bank. So RBI, they have told, was established in the year 1945 under the Reserve Bank of India Act 1944. And what were the functions of RBI, children? We'll see one by one, that it frames monetary policy, it issues currency notes, it acts as a banker to the government, and it acts as a banker's bank to commercial and other banks in India. So central bank, children, central bank, what is central bank? It is Reserve Bank of India. In India, we have only one central bank, that is called as RBI. And keep in mind, children, RBI has the only permission to what we have seen. RBI has only permission of issuing currency notes, and on that currency note, sign of government of RBI, with RBI say have a sign, then that only note will be considered as real currency. So RBI is the major, the first say of one central bank over here, which was established in our country in the 1945, children. And the functions of RBI are, it frames policies, we all know, say demonetization policy, which government introduced before, I think so, 4 years. It was related with RBI. Government communicated with Reserve Bank of India and then issued this policy of demonetization, children. Then currency note, as I told you, RBI has only the authority, the power to issue currency notes. Then the Reserve Bank of India is always a government bank, children. It acts banker to the government. It helps government, Reserve Bank of India. And the next point is that Reserve Bank of India acts as a banker's bank to commercial and other banks in India. Means, see how government, the Reserve Bank of India helps, children, that Reserve Bank of India can give loan to the government. Also, whatever money the government is having, the government can keep to the Reserve Bank of India as safe and secure. And whatever the procedures or whatever decisions are taken in Reserve Bank of India, that is whole of the government, children, and whoever is working in RBI, governor's bank it is. Then the next point regarding central bank provides loan to commercial banks also, but they will charge interest. Or whatever new policies, new rules have been framed by RBI, they give instructions to commercial banks that they have to follow these rules and regulations only. RBI is the head. So he checks all what functions, what working is going on. If any commercial bank doesn't follow what RBI has says, that commercial bank can be cancelled, can be shut down, children. So these are the points related to commercial bank as well as central bank. That central bank is a governor's bank. Now come to commercial bank. Now what is a commercial bank? See, commercial bank plays an important role, children, for economic and social development of a country. And commercial bank performs very important functions. So primary functions are there. Now what are the primary functions of commercial banks? We'll see one by one. Now the commercial bank first function is regarding accepting and depositing lending of money. Means every commercial bank is giving functions, that is primary and secondary. In the first primary function, children, it is accepting deposit and lending money. Means from people you can take money and you can give them money. Lending money and accepting deposit. Now secondary functions are agency functions, utility functions. See, primary function is accepting and giving the money, accepting deposits and lending the money. Then secondary function is regarding agency functions and utility. Agency and utility means ATM services, now online services, whatever it is there, it is coming under secondary functions. So two types of functions the commercial bank follows, children: primary functions and secondary functions. So primary we studied and secondary also what is there. Then they have told that in India that commercial bank is divided again into three groups. See, in India. So the first group is public sector banks. So public sector banks, what it is under public sector banks, children? Majority of capital is held by government, such as Government of India, Bank of India, State Bank of India are there. So public sector banks where majority of capital is held by government, such as Bank of India, State Bank of India, etc. Then private sector banks is there. That private sector banks are those banks which are owned by group of individuals such as Axis Bank, HDFC Bank, etc. So State Bank, Central Bank of India, children, are coming under public sector banks. These are owned by government. They are working as a commercial bank but owned by government. And private sector banks, under private sector banks, they have given example of HDFC or Axis Bank. These are coming under private sector. But what they are doing both primary and secondary functions, providing services to the customer. Then the third group they have told foreign banks, children. Now foreign banks are those banks, children, over here which are established outside India but they have branches in India. Means that particular bank have branch in India. They are working in foreign, their main office will be in foreign country, but they are working in India, they have banks, they have branches over in India such as Citibank they have told, HSBC, Standard Chartered, etc. So these are public, private and foreign banks in our area. Now again I am repeating, we studied about Central Bank of India, we studied about Commercial Bank of India. That commercial bank performs two functions, primary and secondary functions, children. Then primary function is related to accepting deposit and lending of money. Secondary function is related to agency function and utility function. So in India, commercial banks are divided into three groups. So we have public sector banks where majority of capital is held by government, they have told. So we have State Bank, Central Bank, children. Then private banks are owned by private people, individuals. So under that Axis Bank, HDFC comes. Then foreign banks means, children, their offices will be in foreign but they are established in India, their branches are in India. Such banks are Citibank, HSBC, Standard Chartered, etc. So these three types of whatever foreign banks or groups, say public sector, private sector, children, and foreign banks are there in our country. Now what we have till now, types of bank we are studying, that is central bank was our first one, second is a commercial bank, then the third type of bank, children, it is cooperative bank. See, first two we studied, what was that? Central bank, commercial bank. Then the third type of bank, children, it is cooperative bank. So what is a cooperative bank? Now see, in India, cooperative banks are registered under Indian Cooperative Societies Act and regulated under Banking Regulation Act. So cooperative banks are popular in semi-urban and rural areas. The main aim of cooperative bank is to provide credit to economically backward people, farmers and small scale units. And generally the cooperative bank works at three different levels, children. So cooperative banks are what, children? They are registered under Indian Cooperative Societies Act and they are regulated under Banking Regulation Act. So cooperative banks are popular in semi-urban and rural areas, especially, children. And the main aim of cooperative bank is to provide credit facilities to the rural poor, that is economically backward people, farmers and small scale industries. So these are the cooperative banks who looks after children, rural people especially. So this why this bank was formed, and formed by whom? That is Indian Cooperative Societies Act. Then come to the next point children, that cooperative bank works at 3 different levels. Now how we saw commercial bank, 3 groups were there: public bank, private bank and foreign bank. Now here also what they have told, cooperative bank will work at 3 different levels. So we will see what are the 3 different levels of cooperative bank. Now the first one children of cooperative bank is primary credit society. Now see, primary credit cooperative societies work at village level. So they collect deposit from members and common public. They also get funds from the state cooperative bank and district cooperative banks for the purpose of lending. Now see, we are studying the function of whom? Cooperative bank. Already we studied that cooperative bank provides say services to rural people. So in 3 ways how they provide services. The first one is primary credit society. Now what is primary credit society? So primary credit cooperative society children, it works at village level. Village, the bank are there. What they do? They collect deposit from members children, common public, they will collect money. And also this bank get funds children from the state cooperative bank and district cooperative banks for the purpose of lending. See how much the government is paying attention. Means these banks are specially built at villages, branches are there. Then they provide loan also to the common public, as well as this bank itself gets, primary credit society gets fund, that is money from state cooperative bank as well as district cooperative bank children, so that they can provide more and more loan to the rural people, to the needy people, to the farmers specially. So primary credit societies especially say for rural poor, that is primary credit society. Then the second one children, the second function of cooperative society is related to district central cooperative bank. This point we will study in the next period children. By the time, thank you.